Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working on Iron Hunter. Hello Ajax. We're going to be working on Iron Hunter. And today, my goal is to actually finish Iron Hunter. That is my goal, hence why we are on Notepad Must Die. Mostly because there actually isn't that much left with the game. Like, there just isn't really that much left to do. This game is actually really short. One issue I've actually been having with the game is that it's really tight, you could say. And in one interpretation you can say that's a good thing. On another interpretation you can actually say that it's not good. It's a little bit anemic. Which it kind of is, I'm not gonna lie. Also, I was very lucky in finding a lot of anti-Kulak propaganda from the Soviets. Everybody hates the Kulaks. A lot of that and partisan fighters, but mostly I ended up doing some minor fixes. I made a decision and went with zones. I did go with zones, actually. I thought about going for like a detailed, like, oh, well, here's a map and here's the 5-foot squares and all that jazz. And the more I looked at it, the more I kind of realized that it didn't quite mesh well with the ideas. If I wanted to add more like combat options, I wanted to add more things to really do things with it. I think it could have worked, but it just isn't really jiving, if you catch my drift. But that does mean it's very thin in more than a few ways. Because technically there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 options. That's pretty much your lot. That's what you're getting. You're getting 5 options. Quick. Oh, I'm getting worried now. But that's pretty much the game. Like, today, our main goal is we are going to do what monsters are going to be, because monsters aren't actually going to be that complicated either. Oh, what is my favorite type of monster? Like, if I wanted to say, like, my favorite type of monsters just to kind of, like, throw at players, I would usually say the undead. Because you can do a lot with the undead in general, and there's a lot of things that you can kind of bend around. It's like, oh, well, you're fighting spooky, ooky skeletons, ha ha ha. Any good undead that's sticking mind? Good as in, like, high quality, or good as in, like, they are good people? Uh, High quality. Usually, I'm going to sound really generic here. If I'm doing fantasy stuff, a lich. Honestly, like, because the thing is, like, a lich can be so many things and still kind of maintain that thematic, bite to it, which you need. Because it's just like, oh, I'm an ancient lich of evil power, blah, or something. And be like, all right, like, and you kind of have like the immediate thing of like, oh, well, we gotta destroy the phylactery. Uh, lich or lich, if I'm the more German spelling. I actually spelled it the first way because I'm English. I'm a proud American, and usually with lich, if you're spelling it the quote right way, usually you're doing it more of an authentic game. I would spell it lich if I was doing, yeah, if I wanted to make it formal, like a formal, like, this is a lich, I would do that. But I like playing off the idea that like a lich can be kind of like a leech in some way as well. So I kind of leech kind of goes away. You can do a lot of things. Again, that's why I like liches so much, is that they can do a lot of different things while still maintaining itself. Like, you can have a full on combat lich, which is a fucking sword in one hand and a magic spell in the other, and it totally works. And it really throws players off too. Tax. Let's see. Actually, I want to. Also, I guess I should say, thank you, Asileus. You have more dread pictures everywhere, so thank you for following. Yeah, lich spells can be fun. Like liches in general, like that's why I like the undead so much, is that you could do a lot with them that I don't really think many other monsters you can do stuff with. Let's see. All right. So our main thing, what we need to do now is lurk in the beasts that lurk in the dark. I also made a decision that I was no longer going to call monsters monsters. I'm going to call them by what this government would most likely call them, foreigners. So technically you hunt foreigners in this game. You hunt things from beyond the veil of reality, because we are all in this together, because we are proud communists here. Okay, so we've got our traits, we've got our base attributes. Okay. Vampires versus communism. Not necessarily vampires. Like, technically, monsters can come in a lot of different varieties. The foreigners can come. So it's like, you want to do communism versus vampires. Like, all right, that works. Or communism versus werewolves. Like, all right, it's like communism versus what's some, like, ghouls. Like, you can do a lot of things. That's kind of like one of the ideas, is the darkness, the unholy threat beyond the veil of time, beyond the veil of time, the color of space, is kind of doesn't give a fuck. It just wants to throw monsters at you because it's evil. Oof. So, and you evil things like doing evil shit. News at 11. So, foreigners come in many varieties. Each one more heinous than the last. Then the last. Then the darknesses foreign. Then the darknesses foreigner agents come to infect the land as well. So when the hunters are deployed out into the field, they are tasked with hunting down, exterminating, exterminating, or at least containing the foreigner threat. Actually, you say vampires are just gypsies. Fun fact, probably after I get this section done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a section earlier when it comes to, like, build up information, is about the idea of unreliable information. Because the idea is you have to go around, you have to start inquiring, being less like, okay, what's going on? Like, we know that there is a monster in the woods. What is it? Well, it's a monster that steals cows. All right, it's a monster that steals cows. It doesn't really tell us much. Well, it's a monster that will, bite into, if it bites you, you'll be infected. We actually had to kill a guy. Now, okay, can we see the body? It's like, okay, something's wrong here. This isn't, like, what's going on here? And you have all this different information, and some people may say, well, I think it's the crazy old coot who lives on the edge of town. I think it's him because he's a Coolin, and we don't like Coolins around here. And they can lead you on a hunt just to fucking kill, effectively, the gypsy equivalent. And it's just like, yep, we killed him, like we killed the vampire, or we killed the werewolf. It was just a gypsy, but whoops. Oopsie doopsie. At least containing the foreigner threat. On-strike combat is always an option. Foreigners are often far more powerful than than a regular human being, or have powers that twist the colors of space. Now, one thing I want to emphasize here is that the monsters, the foreigners, they have a lot of personality. All right, bye Ajax. That these foreigners actually have a lot of personality with them, and the idea is that they are individual, they are personal, they have identities. They're arguably more human than the characters, which is kind of the dreadful, kind of like the joke almost, is that you're hunting people who are by far more interesting than the characters because they are more interesting. And it's like, yeah, we're a fucking communist country. No shit, you're gonna be hunted down like the fucking dogs you are. Let's positive. Don't be a hater. Let's positive thinking. I am thinking positive. We're hunting down people against the state. We don't like those who go against the state. So the strict comment is always, the foreigners often far more powerful than the regular human being, or have powers across colors of space. Foreigners are built similarly to foreigners are built similarly to the hunters, but have far more developed personalities and desires. Personalities, desires, and abilities than the regular citizen hunter. This is where things get really... I actually debated on this. Rely on far more developed personalities. I debated on how to do this for a while, and I think I'm gonna just say fuck it and lean into the... Oh my god. No, we're not doing Persona. But I want to lean into the fact that, like, I don't think I can make this game crunchy. I fundamentally do not believe that making this game, like, really heavy is the right answer. I think this game is going to excel at, like, really short, tight campaigns and little else. Ajax, you can't rely on Persona for everything. Don't be JP. Though I'm a freak of nature in like Persona 3, so I can't really say anything. Fighting Nazis and Lovecraft monsters beyond the... Don't worry, everybody. Okay, let's see. We want to go to Ion Hunter. Boom, boom. Alright, get some sleep. Get out of here. So what we need to do is we need to zoom in a little bit too far. So we need to worry about, so our characters, so we're going to have our foreigner threat. So our basic thing is we're going to have our number of attributes, number of traits, monstrous abilities, We'll do health. No, it'll be blood and not stability. Yeah, it'd be blood, stability, and power instead. So what we can do is foreigners have all the same attributes. As hunters, while also possessing their own set of traits. However, one set of traits, while also possessing their own final. Foreigners have increased blood and stability. Stability steps, indicating their increased physical and mental strength. While also possessing a new, what did I end up calling it? They call them well-being. I'm gonna need to change the fucking name on that. That's a terrible name. While possessing a new well-being. Power. Power is power reflects the darknesses hold on the foreigner to manipulate, and ability to manipulate field in their advantage. Foreigners can tap into their power to remove commune dice. Commune die. Okay, let's see. So power reflects darkness hold on the foreigner, their ability to manipulate the field to their advantage. Remove commune die. Restore lost well-being. Actually, physical or mental well-being. While and use their power and use their own malicious abilities. Their power also reflects their own ties to the world. Should it ever fully deplete and then be rendered vulnerable, the foreigner will die from lack of energy. Now, this is where things get. This is the specific thing. You want to do this. You want to manipulate this. You will always have power. Sometimes their health may be different. Possessing new indicator increased mental strength. I'm actually going to sub out this for. I'm going to put that into its own thing. Foreigners also possess a new well-being power. Any well-being marked with an X cannot be reduced. Or used by the foreigner. They are, by all accounts, impossible to defeat that way. defeat that method. Foreigners also possess new well-being, power. Power reflects the darkness sold on the foreigner and their abilities to manipulate the field to their advantage. Foreigners can tap into their power to remove commune dice. And use their own malicious abilities. Foreigners will die from lack of energy. A hunter can reduce a foreigner's power by a hunter can reduce a foreigner's power by using any learned weaknesses against them. But most weaknesses can only be used once. Plan carefully or die alone. There we go. Because if we use this idea, because that was how you defeat most of the more powerful ones. Okay, so if we go here, stability, power, monstrous abilities. Actually, we want to call these. We'll call these disabilities. It sounds like I should call it something else. I don't know what to call it though. So, foreigner threat. We will call these minor. Minor, major, critical. Actually, minor, major, serious, critical. Actually, no. What would... Actually, whites, blues, greens, oranges. Actually, what would be purples? Let's see. Blues, greens, purples. Because I don't want to use the color red. That's the big thing. Violet? No, violet's too close to purple. What would be like, how would you designate threats? In a communist regime, how would you designate a threat? What is the most analytical corporate way of looking at, like threat, like an actual, like, how would you dictate a threat to your well-being if you want to look at it in the most analytical, uncaring way physically possible? It's like, yeah, you're going to be dealing with a purple threat. Like, yeah, fuck you. Okay, you know what we can do? We can do, actually, paranoia RPG colors. Red, orange, ultraviolet. So, orange, yellow. Threat level orange. Orange, yellows. Green, blue, indigo. Green, blue, indigo. Violet. Violet, ultraviolet. Actually, we'll just call it white. Threat level white. What you writing about? This game is called Iron Hunter. Iron Hunter is a game about being effectively citizen hunters because the communist regime that took over shot all the old hunters. And now you've been effectively forcefully drafted to hunt down Dracula because the government shot Van Helsing. You are ill-prepared, ill-trained, and pretty much the least competent person available. Yeah, I was thinking about doing the colors of the rainbow. I'm using paranoia because I think paranoia would work, and I think Orange being like, okay, this is a threat, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and then ending off with like violet and white. I think this kind of gives a good idea because you can use the idea of violet because violet color. You can also kind of associate that with royal. And if the communists hate anything, it's royal power. So that kind of plays into itself. And white just being like, yeah, just run. So if we make an assumption that 10 equal human being, we want to make sure that these are, 10 equal human being, 1 equal human, 1 equal human, and then 4, 4, 4 is human. And then all of this is human right up here. So we need to make sure orange is easy to deal with and not like excessively, like distinctly not human. They're going to have 7, they're going to have 1, they're usually going to have 0 abilities, they're going to have probably around 3, 3, and like 1 to 2, like 1-2. Like they're not going to have a lot. I'm going to be making this pretty open. Actually, it's going to be 0, 2, 1. Because the idea being like making an orange, for example, an orange like an orange designated enemy, it would be like zombified peasant. Actually, what I should do is what would be a good one? So number of attributes, number of traits. We can probably add in skill. Not skill. Because we need to add in like a survival score because that's how it is. So this would probably be 4, and then we use this as basic human. We're treating this as like a basic human being is threat level yellow. So you would have abilities of 1 to 2, blood would be 4, 4, and then like 2 to 4. Like you're fairly, this is human. Like right here, this is human. So if we want to do that, I want to be a superhero, I want to be super cool, and I want to fight zombified monsters. So if I do something like this, that would be 10. Unless I jack it up by 2 each time. So this would be 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. That would be nearly impossible to hit them at the top there. 6, jump 8, make it like 8, 9, 10, 11. Like you cross the border to when you cross into blue, this is when you're distinctly dealing with things that like you need help to deal with. Like yellow, okay, I can fight one of these. Like you can fight an orange pretty reliably. So let's actually do a double check on something. So body, dog, actually it would be bod, DGM, MND. So this is going to be our basic attributes for our basic zombified fucking peasant. He's going to be an orange class threat, not very scary. He's going to have a survival score of 4. And his attributes are going to be something like 3, 0, 0, 0, 3. Actually, we can probably reduce that down further. So 6, 4. Yeah. Yeah. Because if we use this idea, we can actually kind of make things work a little bit better. A little bit more consistently. So, unless we want to do like a range. Yeah, we can do like a range of like 5 to 8. And then we can make this a range of 9 to 11. If we do it, increase it by 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So actually we should do 6 to 8. 9 to 11, 12 to 14? 12 12, 12, 13, 14. That number's gonna get real fucking high or real fucking fast. Fuck. That's not gonna work. Yeah, you know what? No. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, notepad. This is what we want. 10. Increase it by something like this. Because having a 20 is insane. Like, that is... All of these can be minimum 5, which is bonkers. But most likely you're not going to be just 5. It's going to be higher because you are a giant monster who can probably rip someone's ass out. So what's their trait going to be? Their trait is going to be unfeeling monster. And their ability, they're going to have 0 ability. None. They're going to have blood 3. Stability 3. Actually, stability X because they don't think. And they're going to have a power of 1. They're not very threatening. The best way to deal with a zombified peasant is to kill them. Yeah, okay. Orange aren't threatening. That's the point. So, foreigner threat, let's actually do... Like, half of me wants to bring out something, but no, we can use power for that, I think. Do I want to use power? Yeah, I can use power for that, so you can use your power to increase your... to add an extra d6 to things. I'm going to have to put that, actually. And... Having the power to remove commune dice, restore lost physical well-being. Add a d6 to their dice pool, to their roll, or use their malicious abilities. Give me 1 second. Oh god, here. Wait. I feel the sneeze. It is coming. It is right there. It is right in my nose. I know it's coming. God fuck. God, it's like Munchkin's mom last night. Jesus. God, I know it's coming, but good God. Dab. I do it for the views. Let's see. No, we're good. We're good. So we need to use this and number of traits. Number of traits, we're going to be probably doing like 2 to 3, 4 to 5, actually 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 7 to 8. Abilities 0 to 1, we're going to have 1 to 2. Actually be 1 plus dash 2. 2 dash 3. And then like 3-4, 5-6, and like 7. No, that's not gonna work. So I don't want them to have too many abilities. So maybe like 1 to 3. So that would be 2 to 4, which would be 3 to 5. 4 to 6, 5 to 7. There we go. If I can actually count. 5 to 7. Yeah, that should work. And then blood. We do an exponential set of numbers. We'd end up with 9. However, we can probably do the jump at 4 again. So it would be, you go from 5 to 7, 8, 9, 10. Stability will do the same thing. And then the numbers here are Frackle Rocked again. Fuck. Actually, so let's do like 0 to 1. And this would be 1 to 2. 2 to 3. 3 to 4. 4 to 5. 6 to 7. 7 to 8. Would that work? Because if we do this, what should occur is that most things are going to end up in kind of the average. Like, blue is going to be like your first threats. Like, this is what you're going to be really worrying about. Okay. All right, I can make that. I can make that work. Ow. Okay. So if we use this as the basis, I won't be able to fit everything here. However, I'm going to fit everything here. So we're going to put you like that. So number of attributes, number of traits, stability, power, foreigner threats, railway. Yeah, railway 10. Okay. This looks pretty solid. Do we want to add in? Half of me wants to add in a more formal look of this. So it would be something looking like foreigner threat and then like power. Not ability, because we already used the term ability. We already used the word power. Like, threat. Because the threat would be like, these guys are rolling 2d6. Yellow would be rolling 2d6. Green would be rolling 2d6. Blue would be rolling 3d6, 4d6, 4d6. Which 4d6 doesn't seem like a lot. However, you have 5 to hit normally. And they also get their bonuses. So it's like, a white's going to hit you, regardless of what you do. The idea is just how well they succeed at beating your ass. So it would be like this, and then we could add in a... What else would I want to add in? That would be a... Oh yeah, so actually cost for voucher for hunting. Vouchers for the hunt. So oranges are going to bring in 1 voucher. Yellows bring in 1 voucher. Green brings in 2. Blues, actually, how many vouchers do we need to buy a gun? We're going to have to buy a gun. It's going to be about 2. So it's going to something like 2, 3, 4, power gap 8. Then we increase it by 2. You're getting very few vouchers, but if you just successfully bring, actually what we can do is we can do confirm kill vouchers, and then we can do mission require actually deployment vouchers. An orange level threat deployment, you're going to get paid like 8 vouchers. That's it. And then we can increase it exponentially by 4, so it'd be 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. That seems really jankalicious. Okay, that's not quite what we're looking for. Welcome to the fun part of game design, otherwise known as math. So this would be the amount of money, effectively, you're getting paid in vouchers. And vouchers suck and are worth. And actually, we can do it by, like, do this, and then 5, 10, 15, increase it up to 30, and then we increase it by, like, 50, 70, and 100, like this. So, by virtue of just going on, like, an Indigo mission, your team is going to get paid 50 vouchers. However, those 50 vouchers are also what you're going to be paid initially. Okay, so what we can do is we can add this, like, right here. And then we do Railway 10. Actually, yeah, no. Railway 10, properties, middle center, black on black. Table alignment left, slap an image right there. Where are you at? You're at 9.2. Can I fit you at 9.25? Yes, I can. So that means I'm going to do it for all of you. 0.925. Now I'm going to put you in. We're just going to do vouchers. Can I fit this up there? I can fit this up here. All right. So what we're going to do here is each foreigner is assigned a... Actually, no. So each foreigner is assigned a threat score. Which determines their overall ability and skill at their overall ability and terror they inflict on others. Rarely, the government assigns the government can only guesstimate the real power of a foreigner. Better intelligence can narrow it down to 1 to 2 steps from the core, but varying intelligence can be anywhere from a deviation of 4. So, what does that actually mean? So, let's say you get chosen to go on a mission to hunt a blue. So, if you have good intelligence, usually it's going to be green or indigo. Like, this is what the real monster is going to be. It's going to be within these 3. Bad intelligence is when you get things like, it could be literally anything from, like, a yellow to a violet. Like, it's really hard to tell. Or, like, the really bad, like, you really have no fucking idea what you're going into. It could be literally anything. But okay, deviation of 3 steps. Of 3. Government expects hunters to successfully. The government expects hunters to successfully ascertain the threat, and report back accurately. So you could go on a mission deploying for a yellow, however, you encounter a blue. If you don't report things correctly, you're going to get paid for a yellow, otherwise known as fuck all. Because the government don't give no fucks. It doesn't care. Why should it? It's the government. They don't want to pay you. Actually, I need to select you. Can we bring you up to 0.75? Can we select everything? Properties, .0.75. Yeah, there we go. Then we can put this section in delete column. We can put this section in the government section. I think that'll work. Slap an image like right there. Have this right here. Slap a bigger image and 2 examples. Yeah. This is literally going to be how combat is. This is how you determine your enemy. What is it? Actually, what I should do. Okay, so threat. What isn't explained? I mean, overall ability on others, allowing them to roll additional dice. Those roll dice to their basic dice pool. You get 2d6, they might get 4d6. Why? Because fuck you. Okay, abilities. Let's do a side note. Vulnerabilities. I don't... Dealing with the... dealing with sheer breadth of options available for hunters to encounter. The abilities section. The ability section is a loose description. Actually, foreigners. Foreign creation system is a bit light. The core idea is to make a monster with personality. So if the hunters counter a vampire, it's not just quote a vampire. It's Lord. What's appropriately Russian? Oh, yeah. Boris Yazarim. Or Boris Yazarim. Hunter of the Night. And bloodthirsty monster. The abilities are vague suggestions to play into the monster's mythos and abilities. A vampire may be able to reduce steps if they attack in melee. Reduce steps in blood if they attack in melee, for example. Because I'm keeping it light, because I really don't want to fucking write 3,000 goddamn things about it. But if I do that, I'm going to burn myself out. Oh. No, you're not crashing. No, we're good. I must be able to reduce steps in blood if they attack in melee, for example. While a werewolf may be able to, quote, rip down any wall. Be creative. And most importantly, punish the hunters for not learning about the threat. There we go. Friday night. so we've got this. We've got how they operate. Okay, so that means we're gonna be moving on to the darkness you know, the government. The People's Republic. Actually, what is the full name of the actual government I wrote? Prince Zalik and Zalikin, and the UPRZ, the United People's Republic. That's it. The United People's Republic of Zalikistan. Central Planning Committee. The Planning Committee is free from the influence of basic affairs. They're simply attempting to understand and make sure that the people are producing what's needed to survive. This does not account for MEOA operations. Or anything else people do. The Central Planning Committee may also perform actions or make decrees to quote de-incentivize counter-revolutionary thought among radicals, which may incur penalties if the hunters do not abide by them. The hunters are subject to the whims of the government. A government which is not fully understanding of their situation or their need to react to situations. Everything can and will more expensive, cheaper, be banned, or anything else that can occur, depending on the whims of bureaucrats attempting to one up one another in battlefield of it would be Supreme Soviet. Yeah, it is the composed of two chambers. Yeah, this is the battlefield of the Supreme Soviet. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy is your own government. De-incentivize counter-revolutionary thought, government, situations, one another. So let's see. Okay, so what we need to do is what we'll call this is central Central plan. Actually, planned economy. Planned economy. Planned economy. The voucher. The vouchers. During the transition to the new government, the old Asperus coins were rendered completely useless by the government, partially due to corruption, partially due to fleeing government. It would be fleeing royal mint employees. The new system which replaced it, it was a fiat currency, simply referred to as vouchers. While not backed by anything, the faith in the government, not backed by anything, it's the faith in the government, the threat of imprisonment if they are not accepted. Vouchers hold little value outside of. The vouchers hold value to government controlled communes. Actually, it could be communes. Spell communes. Yeah. Holds valid government controlled communes and government run businesses. Government run business. Actually, government run surplus inventories, surplus stores. Vouchers are the only form of payment. The hunters can officially their service in the government. A fact that the MEOA realizes and tries to incentivize their usage. Service to the government. Hunters are at the whims of the government to determine the overall value of the vouchers as well. With certain instances of too many vouchers or simply not enough to go around for the breadlines. So we're going to have to make a chart here, and the idea is, so we'll do voucher value, roll 1d6 of voucher value a value decrease. All prices plus 25%. Actually, it would be 10%. Value neutralizes. Prices remain the same. Value increases. All prices minus 10%. So if we want to put this here, what we need to put here is when determining, actually we would be at the start of At the start of every mission, roll on the voucher value table to determine this mission's basic costs related to their vouchers. These effects stack. So bad rolls can result in the government accidentally inflating their own currency to worthlessness. Actually, we want to put you all right there. So it would be 1 to 3, 4, and then 5. And then actually 4 to 5, and then actually 1 to 2, 3 to 5, 6. Okay. Most of the time, the government's going to be at least relatively smart and try not to overemphasize. However, it is still incredibly likely that they're going to decrease the value of their goddamn own money because the government is the government. And it can do that. And prices are arbitrarily going to increase sometimes. This is on top of everything, but we need to establish the fact that vouchers have sometimes little value. Their own currency to worthlessness. Actually, planned currency, the vouchers. Mission's basic costs related to the vouchers. Railway. Select everything. Tail properties. Center. Middle. Because we want to emphasize that communism doesn't fucking work. And anyone who believes that it does is probably 12. 5. It's too small. 0.75. Value table. Aspirations will always remain the same. They're just valuable because they just are. So vouchers, government entities, and official services. Official services always take vouchers. Actually, I should all say all voucher prices. So, with the idea being, like, the voucher prices are always going to be increasing, while the actual aspries, the valuable currency, is not. Government entities, official services always take voucher, are mandated to take vouchers. Are mandated to take vouchers, while those in the countryside and communes, all those in the countryside villages do not recognize the value of the voucher. do not recognize the value of the vouchers. Esprit's coins will always maintain the same value. Will always maintain the same value to those who understand it. While government officials are unable to, quote, formally accept payment, it is a well-known practice to gift old coins to officials to grease the wheels. Pretty much bribe the shit out of your problems anytime you have them. When in doubt, use money. Always use it. You got it, you spend it. Okay, so we've got all of you. We'll put a picture right there. So what we can do right now is now we have to move into planned economy equipment. Available the tools of the trade available, the tools of the people, and surplus military equipment. It is always available to the hunters, should they want it. All they need to do is pay the small rental fee in the form of vouchers. Tools of people and surplus military equipment is always available for the hunters should they want it. All they need to do is pay the small rental fee in the form of vouchers. After the mission is concluded, they are mandated to return their rented goods to the surplus station. Failure to do such is punishable by a fine in vouchers, as well as possible hard labor to pay off those fines. So we need to put you as 2. Pay off those fines. Certain consumable equipment is expected to not be returned, and as such drives up a higher bargain in both equipment and in vouchers. The deal was expected not to be returned, as such drives higher bargain in vouchers. Should government mandate? Should the Central Planning Committee make a decision? Make a decision to restrict access to certain equipment. Then prices will increase by 25%. Then voucher prices will increase by 25%. If the equipment is simply banned, then procurers are unable to, quote, legally obtain the gear except at 100% markup markup and a donation to their pockets. Non-government approved sources of equipment is acceptable. Actually, non-government sources of equipment are acceptable. Acceptable as long as it falls under the proper government supervision, and there has been no ban on its acquisition. Donation to quartermaster's pockets. So now we get to do. We don't need that. We'll do that next. So equipment, I want equipment to be actually pretty damn easy. I don't think equipment really needs to be that complex in a game like this. We've already kind of made the choice to make things simple, and I'm going to double down on that because I think I need to. So what it's going to be, we're going to have like civilian. What we'll do is we'll call civilian light melee weapon. Civilian. Actually, we'll call it civilian light weapon, civilian heavy weapon. So a civilian light weapon, a civilian heavy weapon, and actually, let's go on a magic quest, everyone. Firearm owners in Soviet Union. Gun control in the Soviet Union. That's Soviet citizen allowed for smoothbore hunting shotguns again, even without mandatory submission of hunting licenses. Small arm. Afterwards, do not lie. Arm the working people. On the surrender's weapon order, people surrender any firearms, swords, bayonets, bombs, regardless of degree of serviceability. Have a single weapon, pistol. Members of the Communist Party will have a single weapon, a pistol or rifle, in possession of the weapon to record a party membership book. The assassination of Stalin's ally Sergei Kurov by Leonid Nikolov in 1934 was possible because of this, as Nikolov was allowed to carry a revolver. Trade swords, keeping and carrying firearm ammunition. All weapons were classified and divided into categories. Smoothbore hunting shotguns. Okay, so we can. Okay, so we can actually. So we have to have those. We have to have the presence of basic civilian firearms present. So this would be like literally like a sickle / hammer. Like it's literally a workman's tool. Actually, we can actually call it light worker's tool, light worker's tool, heavy worker's tool. And then we can have like a civilian sidearm, civilian long arm, and then we could have a light military weapon, heavy military weapon, military sidearm, the military long arm. All right, so this would be like hammer, sickle, etc. Heavy worker's tool would be like, it would be I can see it. It's like a striker's hammer. It's heavy heavy hammers and like more two-handed, more bigger, more impressive things. Like these are very much, but still civilian tools that you're using to try to beat a werewolf to death with. Yeah, okay. And then civilian sidearms. So what we need to do, okay, is light workers tool. How much vouchers do these cost? These will cost, we'll call it 3 vouchers. 3 voucher rental. And then if it's a 10% increase, so actually let's see, 3 times 0.1, it would be a 3.3 for a 10% increase. So it would be, we have to round up. Actually, I should do that. Actually inflating their own currency to worthlessness. Anytime they're actually, the hunters will always round up, regardless of the value of the current equipment. Inflating their own currency to worthlessness. This will always, actually, this increase will happen last when all, actually this increase will happen last when all available equipment, actually this increase will happen first before any other equipment, before any other regulations are put into place. Value of the current equipment. Okay. So, light workers tool, 3 voucher rental, and simple workman's tools that can be repurposed. Actually, we can only do 1. And they do combat foes in times of need. So these tools are often actually are very common to find. You do 8 vouchers to buy. But you can buy civilian tools. These tools are very common to find, and it's going to do 1 damage. Actually, it's going to do +1 step. Actually, +2, it'd be 2 steps of blood. Because hitting someone with a fucking hammer over the head is probably going to hurt them. Oh no, people are talking. Oh no. Art people, why are you posting cringe? Oh, Yen Press is bringing out the Goblin Slayer TTRPG. Oh, that's a thing. Not in that. I actually read through the Goblin Slayer RPG. That has the funniest fucking line in the entire world, and it's you don't just kill goblins, save the world. I'm like, why am I playing the Goblin Slayer RPG if that's not the case? Like, come on. 2 steps in blood. 2 steps in blood damage. Heavy workman's tool. This is going to be a 3 voucher rental, and 16 and it would be 8 times 3. 8 times 3 would be 20. 24 vouchers to buy. Heavier, more industrial tools of the trade. These weapons can easily be. Actually, these tools have to be carried by the strong, but pack a punch, pack a nasty hit should it connect? This will do 3 steps in blood damage. Actually, it'd be 4 steps in blood. Damage requires body 3. Bod 3, 2 hands. Civilian sidearm. This will be 10 voucher rental. And it would be, let's do 120 vouchers to buy. No, that's 12. No, it's 3 times. If it's 1 to 8, it would be 10 would be 80. It would be 80 vouchers to buy. Actually, not really. Let's be honest with ourselves. This would be pretty cheap. We'll do 5. So 5 times 8 would be 60 vouchers. But guns also have to deal with the unfortunate reality that you have to buy them. You have to buy ammunition for them. So, handguns and other weapons can easily dispatch foes or wild animals. Actually, to easily dispatch wild animals in the unforgiving countryside. But more than a few drunken fights with a drawn pistol. So this is going to do 1d3, actually how do I want to do this? 1d6 steps of blood damage. That, and does require ammunition, and it's going to cost 3 vouchers in ammunition. 3 vouchers a magazine. Ammunition, it's going to have, let's see, what's a fucking Makarov at this point? Let's have Makarov. That's 1 PM. No, it wouldn't be a Makarov, would it? Would be a Soviet officer pistol. Yeah, it would become the Makarov, wouldn't it? Started on 48. What would be the one before that? The 19 now. What would be the Russian pistol? The Soviet Union's handguns. So this would be 1930s Tokarov. Yeah, it would be the Tokarov, wouldn't it? Or the Nagant. Civilian like, what would be a civilian pistol? Actually, civilian handgun. Civilian handgun. So we would probably want to do like it would probably be a Tokarov. TT. Or a Tokarev. So how big is your clip? How big is your cartridge? You have 8 rounds. Nice. Yep, you have 8 rounds in your... let's see, we want to go here. So, ammunition, 8. However, it costs 3 vouchers a magazine. So overall, it's going to actually, we'd probably want to do 5 vouchers a cartridge. So it's going to cost you 10 of your vouchers to rent a gun and then have a single cartridge for the gun to do 1d6 damage if you hit them. Note the operative word there, if. Okay, so civilian long arm. So if we want to do civilian long arm, that would be pretty expensive. I'm going to bump that up to 12 vouchers for a rental. So 12 times 8 would be 96. So yeah, this is your investment. This is your 96 vouchers to buy. Primarily hunting. Primarily. Actually, how many isn't that a god? This would be 20. This would be the 20s into the 30s. Yeah. Yeah, this would work. I think the Tokarev would work. So if we're looking at the Tokarev, so if we want to look, it would be a hunting shotgun. Soviet, would it be a Soviet hunting shotgun? Definitely not any of these. Let's see. Smooth bore hunting shotgun. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, I'm seeing a two-shot shotgun there. Yeah, I'm looking at 2 shots. Yeah, it looks like you. Actually, it would be, Soviet hunting shotgun. Shot the gun. Do you have civilian weapons in here? Civilian owned? Yes, I will have my, my civilian grade Grad P portal, light portable rocket system. Oh, God. Yeah, no, that would be right. I don't want to be a semi-automatic. I think it would literally be it's a two-shot. Is a two-shot shotgun. That's literally what you would have. You would have 2 shots in a fucking dream. And we're going to have you purchase individual shots because fuck you. That's my philosophy. So primarily used for hunting. Primarily used for hunting. These weapons are dangerous and require a license to hold even in the countryside. Even in the countryside, as well as party membership. It's going to do 2d6 steps in blood damage. It's going to have ammunition 2, and it's going to be 8 vouchers a shot. So you're going to have to invest if you want to do that 2d6 blood damage. But hey, if you want to kill a vampire pretty easily, chick, I'm going to shoot you now with a slug. It's a very good way of dealing with the enemy, is by shooting them with a shotgun. Just really hope that you don't miss. And now we get to do into military weapons, so knives, bayonets, and other military personnel during the revolution. Most are out of date. But are still maintained. maintained and effective. So we want to be doing, it would be 1 voucher, it would be 2 voucher rentals. 2 voucher per rental, because that's the thing you're going to be doing. It'll be 3 steps in blood. Blood damage. And this is going to be a 4 voucher rental. Actually, how much are you? You are 3 voucher for that. So 4. Actually, we'd probably want to do something like a 6 voucher rental. Heavier tools used for military combat. Combat are often reserved for military soldiers or other. Actually, no, the CPC, the force of the CPC, but these tools may occasionally trickle in to the surplus. So it'd be 4 steps in blood damage. Pretty much lethal if you get hit with it. Actually, it'd be 5 steps. Require bod 4. Actually, require bod 3. Requires 2 hands. That reminds me, I have to remember that this also requires 2 hands. Popularized by the Red Guard. 8 voucher rent. Actually, we'll do 10 voucher rental. Popularized by the Red Guard. These handguns and pistols. These handguns are top of the line. And able to show both the authority of the central government as well as the brutality of what happens if they resist. So military, you do 1d6 damage. 1d6, we'll do 1d6 plus 1 damage. Ammunition, 8. 5, and it's going to be 8 vouchers. It's going to be 5 vouchers a cartridge. You may be noticing, Notepad, isn't the military sidearm exactly like the civilian sidearm? Why would you ever do that? Well, it's because the government can just ban civilian firearms. Like, you just don't get to buy them anymore. If you do own them, give them back. Even if you bought them, you don't have the option to. This is where the game gets a little bit malicious. It's the idea that any of these things can just go away. True military equipment used by the proud revolutionaries and despicable royals during the revolution. These guns have seen better days, but they pack a wallop. This reminds me, how many shots does a Mosin have? Mosin. Let's see, it has... Actually, Soviet. What was the Soviet battle rifle? Actually, just Soviet rifle. World War II. Yeah, Mosin Nagant, Tokarov. Yeah, no, it would be 5 round turtle magazine. Oh, someone's pinging me. Who's pinging me? Why are people pinging me? Why are you pinging me? Pinging me, pinging me. You wouldn't be. So let's see, 20 vouchers, but they pack a wallop. So this would be doing 2d6. 2d6 plus 2. Hello, phone. 2d6 plus 2. It's going to be doing as ammunition 5. However, it's going to be 10 vouchers. It's going to be 10 vouchers. It would be a clip, yes. Not a cartridge. And requires 2 hands. Because this would be like, yeah, this is your fucking Mosin. Okay, so if we select everything here. Control Shift 8. Backspace, backspace, backspace. Control Shift 8. We're not monsters, we're communists. There's a difference. If I'm getting quiet, it's because the fatigue is setting in finally. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, and it's going to be a lot more of this. Because this is what game design really boils down to. I think a lot of people, I've talked about this before, but people think like game design is like, oh wow, look at all the fun stuff I get to do. I get to design all these fun things. Like, no, it's not. You do that at first, but then it's a lot of this. It's like, okay, does everything look right? Does this make sense? Does this make sense? Hi, phone. Hello, car. How are you? Let's see. Did you have something to say about the monkey enemy? Yeah, monkeys are fine. Always feel fine, you know. Yeah, like use wild animals. Like that is animals are kind of like a natural enemy, but it's also a natural enemy that you can also usually reason out with. You can actually make a lot of. It kind of depends because like a solid wild animal, like a solid like a bear, like a bear serves as like a pretty solid like, hey, this is a threat. Like this is something that's like somewhat scary, or like, hey, it's a fucking gorilla, and that gorilla wants to kick our ass. Fuck. It's and the thing is like you can make animals monstrous. Like that's the like one of the big things you kind of have to remember. Like there are some fucking weird animals out there. Like where was that one? What was the? Because you get things like the Komodo dragon. Like this thing is straight out of a fucking horror movie in some cases. Like these things don't run 12 miles per hour, or like ooh wow, looks so stupid. Hippos are terrifying. Hippos can run 30 miles an hour, and if they hit you, you fucked. Like you just die if you get like if a hippo just doesn't want to like you anymore. Like hippos are terrifying. I'm trying to think of like what are some other odd animals out there that are just like spooky for a variety of reasons because they will just fuck you up. You know, the entirety of Australia. Uh, Like Tasmanian devils. Like these things are really freaky. Oh, the entirety of Wolverines. We're fucking honey badger. Like, what was that thing? It's Bandicoot. That's it. Yeah, like bandicoots aren't scary, but like, what's that animal that fights snakes? What is it? It's not a bandicoot. Mongoose. Yeah, like mongoose are like it's time to fuck each other up. Crash Bandicoot is a scary creature. Okay, let's see. Okay, what if they evolved from Earth animals to fit a different planet? They had a million years to evolve under extreme physics. Well, here's the beautiful thing. Like they say in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. There are some animals that have adapted into like very odd things, or how we keep creating crabs because crabs are incredibly efficient. Like, it's okay to be weird with animals, and it's okay to make animals really monstrous in some ways. Because if you really look at most monsters, they're based off animals in some way. But yeah, fucking crabs are like, oh, well, we lost another species. Why? Because it turned into a fucking crab again. Um, like, you even get some like classic monsters, like, oh, it's a chimera. Like, chimeras are at their core just a combination of animals. Like that's like this is literally it. Like, what if we had a lion, a dragon, and a fucking snake? This is a really shitty chimera, by the way. Like, this is what I think of when I see a chimera. Fucking D&D chimeras, not even once. But you can even say that like trying to think of like some other like classical animals that are like really like like centaurs being like, oh, they're horse people. Like literally, that's it. That's why does this exist? Okay, like there are like centaur. Like what I'm trying to get you across is the idea that animals derive a lot from monsters. So it's like, okay, I want to add in a big scary monster, like or a monstrous entity. What kind of animal would that look like? If someone were to say, "Oh, I saw a dragon," because it was a terrifying, big, scary thing, to get that way, usually bigger animals, like large, like megafauna. Megafauna needs a lot of food. Like that's one thing. Like you need a shit ton of energy to actually keep functioning. You usually require the use of, but you're working with extreme physics, so you don't really have to worry about that too much. Again, you need a lot of food, a lot of plentiful energy. You would need also a lot of room, which is kind of an odd thing. Like that's the big thing is like I can see there's actually like a full description of like how you do megafauna, and it's in our primordial past, in Earth's past. Like we had the fucking mega sloth real megathurium. That's it. Like you had these fuckers. Like this was a megathurium. Like this thing was huge. It was a like goddamn like giant sloth. Like what is uh yeah, if you really want to look at some odd thing, look at things like the Pelecanese. Where is it? It's a megafauna. God, there we go. Yeah, like Pelecanese megafauna. That's it. There we go. You can actually get a lot of interesting like information here. People shit on Wikipedia like, oh, don't use Wikipedia. It's Wikipedia. You shouldn't use it. No, use Wikipedia. Shit's useful. If you're asking, you probably don't know. Okay, let's see. What am I looking at? Let me see. I have to break people. I have to break people's imagination here real fast that they think the Goblin Slayer TTRPG is going to be anything that. Let's see. It's Sword World. I remember a distinct line being, "Just don't fight goblins. Goblins save the world." It's great. Yeah, Yenpress going fucking sicko mode though with those game releases. That's what I'm interested in. I'm also getting very tired all of a sudden. It's great. I said I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to get it done. So we've got all of this. Civilian, 25%. So in theory, so let's do a 10% increase. So let's just do like a basic, we'll just call it a civilian sidearm. I want to purchase for a mission a civilian sidearm. So a 10% increase is going to be 5.5. So we'll increase up to 6 vouchers for a rental. And if it's not right away, it'd be 6 times actually 1.25, it would be 7.5, but since we have to round up, since we're rounding up, it would actually be 8 vouchers. 8 vouchers for the rental. And our ammunition would be 5, 10% would be 6, 25% it would be also 8. So it would be 16 vouchers for a pistol, for a hand pistol plus 8 shots. Would be a single cartridge. Not cheap. Things can get very expensive in this game, and you don't really have that much. Hence the reason why you might be getting a budget of 30. Actually, what I should do is add a right. It would be bonus vouchers for Hunter. Actually, Hunter. Actually, what we can do is Hunter allowance. So it's going to be 5, 7, 8. Actually, no, it'd be 0. It would be 2, 4, 6. Actually, 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6, 10. Okay, so we have all our basic equipment for military, so we need to, it would be light body armor. So what we can do is, we'll do weapons, heading 3. And then do basic protections, basic protection. So we want to do armor. Armor increases the amount of blood steps. Actually, the amount armor adds a number of steps. A number of steps in blood to be taken before blood is full. Actually, let me see. Armor adds a number of steps. Actually, armor creates a number of steps which indicate how many number of sets, which indicate a amount of armor, amount of protection the armor has. Anytime the hunter takes blood damage, they may instead reduce the armor. They may instead increase the armor steps. The armor steps, ignoring. So it would be ignoring the damage taken to their blood. Armor steps cannot be repaired, however. So a new piece of armor will need to be purchased. So our basic armor, we're going to have light armor, which is going to cost 50. It's going to be, let's see, if we want to reduce it by, yeah, it's going to be 20 vouchers. Actually, no, we'll keep it cheap. 10 vouchers. Actually, when returning the armor, each step of damage reduces the value by 50%. Actually, yeah, no, you know, cannot be repaired, however, so a new piece of armor will need to be purchased. So 10 vouchers. Actually, we'll do 15 vouchers. We'll get you one protection. We'll get you one protection step. Medium armor. I'm going to be very lazy about this. For 25 vouchers, we'll get you 2 protection steps. And then heavy armor for 35 vouchers, we'll get you 3 protection steps. Ugh. Oh, people are inventing ironic acronyms. Oh no. So let's see. So armor, just the amount of protection steps. So we need to put the armor right there. We need to put that as heading 3. This is pretty much all we're dealing with. That's all armor does. It's an amount. It is the amount of protection the armor has. You are purchasing it. However, it's going to get reduced. It has 3 protection steps, 3 this, 3 that. Okay. So I'm gonna call this exterior equipment. The MEOA. The MEOA has authority over most of its authority over the surplus supply suppliers of the city. However, not every single thing can be purchased through the supplier. These exterior equipment are usually found in the city by third parties. Are usually found in the city by third parties. Most are everything at first is approved by the government. However, things will change as time marches on. So we're going to have things like holy water. It's going to be like 1 voucher. It's very cheap. However, holy water is also going to get banned, repelled. Reduce enemy power. Reduce enemy power by 1. Actually, we can actually increase enemy power and steps by 1. Medical supplies. It's going to be 2 vouchers. Reduce blood steps by 1. Vodka supplier. 2 vouchers. Reduce mine steps by 1. What would be some other exterior equipment that you could find? Holy Church. Okay. There will always be more equipment needed. Actually, I know we can do salt circles. Salt 1. Actually, it's going to be 2 vouchers. Don't want to give people too much happiness. Servant of the darkness cannot pass beyond laid down salt. So sometimes there will always be more equipment to be found in the city and abroad and in the countryside. These will cost anywhere from 1 to 5 vouchers. Should things go wrong, and these non-government entities find themselves, these non-government entities become public enemies, or become public anathema. They will, let's see, often these costs will range from anywhere from 1 to 5 vouchers. Should things go wrong and these non-government entities become public anathema, they will not be able to sell the required goods anymore, regardless of prices. Keep in the good graces, but remember, everything is transitory. There we go. Control Shift 8, add on sort of paragraph A to B. Got it all right. Okay, so this would be. Come on, Notepad. I believe in you. Please stay awake. You are very tired right now. I didn't really do much today. That's the weird part. I'm just really tired all of a sudden. Fuck. I think I ate too much. I think honestly, I think I just ate a little bit too much. I had shawarma. Yeah. So, okay, so this would be plans. Then we need to do government, so it'd be planned life, government interference. Planned life, government interference. The government is always making changes and editing the rules to suit both their needs as well as the needs of the people. These rules can be arbitrary and often are forcing the hunters to abide by the rules set out before them for their missions. Failure to adhere to government plans is a quick way. Is a quick way to find oneself working at a state-run correction facility. And that's where the social things come from. So we want to put this back down here. Planned life. So we want to do 2 government interference, correctional facility. Because the big thing here is we do not want to actually government interference. I'm not going to assign a dice value because I don't know how many we're going to have. So what would be some basic things that we could do? What kind of mechanics do we have? So we could have exterior equipment increase, exterior equipment restrictions, exterior equipment ban, armor restrictions, armor ban, civilian firearm restrictions, civilian firearm ban, civilian tool restrictions. Because we always need that. Actually, voucher increase value. Voucher decrease value. Actually, what we can do is we can put in the, we call it the Commune Tax. So we have all of that. So it would be exterior equipment, armor, civilian firearms, civilian tools, voucher increase, voucher decrease. So what other ones should we have? Oh, commune deference initiative. Government official signatory. Actually, what we can do is commune tax, commune deference. So actually, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need one more. So actually, we can do social policy change. Yeah, there we go. Government interference. We want to select. Oh no, we want to select you. Data, create a filter. We want to go A to Z. Armor ban. Hit that. Data tool. Turn off filter. That should work. Okay. Roll 2d6. 2d6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. That's 2d6 roll. You're going to make that 2d6 roll start of, we'll call it probably the start of every session. No, it's probably start of, not every mission, I would say every month. There's going to be one. And actually what we can do is government initiative. Push forward. Actually, it's going to be D6. It's going to push forward. It's going to be 1 to 2, in which you are going to make a new policy. Actually, a new policy. Neutral, which is going to be a 3 to 4, and which is going to be rescind policy, which is going to be a 5 to 6. Roll 1d6. Rescind policy, new policy, rescind policy, government policy, and effect. Armor is now completely banned. Completely banned from civilian use. is now completely banned. Is now completely banned from MEOA use. Actually, from civilian use. Armor is restricted access from civilians. So if we do that, it would be civilian. Actually, civilian firearms are banned and forced to be turned in. Civilian firearms are restricted heavily. Civilian tool restrictions. Civilian tools are restricted and rationed accordingly. Commune tax. Every month, the hunters must dedicate 10% of their vouchers back to their commune. It is literally a tax at the end of every month. At the start of every month, actually, it would be start of every month. Start of every month. Every month, the hunters must dedicate 10% of their vouchers back to the commune. This does stack. That's the problem. This does stack. Exterior equipment ban. A specific variety of actually we'll call it exterior equipment producer ban. A producer of exterior equipment has been silenced and shuttered for now. Restrictions. A producer of exterior equipment has had restrictions placed on them. Social policy change. The government introduces a new social policy that all must abide by. Let's see. All prices increase by 10%. All prices decrease by 10%. Lose 10%, actually lose 50% of current vouchers. Current group vouchers. Because remember, you share money. So the idea is that the armor ban is the government saying you can't use any combat-ready armor is completely banned for civilian use. It's just not a thing. Armor restrictions is saying things are just getting more expensive. We're rationing the armor back out. We don't need it. You don't need civilian firearms. We have civilian firearm restrictions, civilian tool restrictions, commune tax, exterior equipment. Actually, what we should do is civilian tool restrictions, commune tax, social policy changes. Actually, what we should do is military equipment ban. Actually, I don't know where to put that now. Fuck. Because if we want to do that, it would be armor ban, armor restrictions. Actually, no. Here's what we can do. Armor restriction / ban. And then civilian firearm restriction / ban. So we can do, if we take these out, we have to rewrite these. But what we can do is Civilian use of armor has been restricted. Has been restricted from use. Fuck. I didn't think about this. I forgot about military equipment. I knew I was forgetting something. Take out tools. Actually, we need ammunition restrictions. We might have ammunition restrict. I might do I might increase the value of like social policy changes to accommodate more. So it'd be ammo restrictions 13. Ammunition. All varieties are held back from civilian markets. Ammunition ban 14. Off limits from civilians. This is completely off limits until a surplus is achieved. So then we have military. So military. We'll just do a military equipment, just in general. Restriction. 15. All military gear is heavily restricted. It is heavily restricted until needed. And then we have military equipment ban 16, which military gear has been now banned from civilian use. Okay, so actually if we do the social policy change, it would be 10, 11, 12. So it'd be 10, 11, 12. Then this would be 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then that would be 3d6. Because that would make a range of fuck. It would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Actually, no, just 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18. So, yeah. If we go to any dice, what's the average of 3d6? Average of 3d6 is 10 to 11. Yeah, no, actually, that works out. What we can do is put you... Actually, we need to create a filter first just to move things around properly. And then we need to put social policy changes. I think we need to put you all down one. So this would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I'm going to make a blind roll here. Let's get my dice out. Okay, that's a d6, 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 d6. Cool. The first time I actually reached inside my sadness bag and got what I wanted. So we're gonna make a policy change. Let's just see, 5, 6. So we got a 6. So our policy change is we have an armor restriction going on. And wait a second, it would be armor ban. There we go, armor ban. Yeah, Okay, we have armor restrictions going on. Armor is completely restricted from civilian use. We cannot get it anymore. It is a bitch. So we want to do that. Okay, we're rolled again. We have a 6, 7, 8. So our 8 would be civilian firearm restrictions. Cool. Roll again, and then we have 8, 9, 10 social policy change. Okay. We're good. We're Gucci. And because we're Gucci like that, oh goodness. So we need to make the government policy section like 1. While the effects, we'll bump the effects up to 3 as of right now, just so, can we fit everything in here? Probably not. But let's sure as hell attempt it. So 10 black, black on black. We want to put that everything up here. We want to make you railway 10. Okay. Varieties restricted. Okay, we are government policy. We want to bump you up to 1.5. Is that going to bring you up? We are getting there. Can I increase you just a bit? How does 3.5 sound? And yes, we would probably tone you down a little bit like that. Right there. All prices increased by 20%. All prices increased by 20%. But the group receives a windfall of 3d6 vouchers. Congratulations, you've increased yeah, they decrease in value because the government has decided to arbitrarily increase their value. Yeah, pretty much they've printed more money, but hey, everyone has more money now. Everything's way more expensive, but hey, it's okay, right? Right? No. So, okay, we're building on top of each other. Everything's really expensive. Things can increase in price pretty drastically. Social policies. Actually, wait, no, that's commune tax. Where's commune tax? Wait a second. Something fucked up here. New social. Okay, wait a second. We want to put you above. Delete row. Okay, there we go. Everything should, yeah. We good. All right, everything's looking good here. We have all our social policy. I'm going to actually make a footnote here. Social policies. These are at their core are restrictions placed upon society at large, which may or may not do anything. Be weird, be arbitrary, but always makes sense. Always makes sense with the situation. Like, my example of like a social policy change is you can no longer insult the government. That isn't a big thing, and it should never like come up that often, except when a player to a government official being like, well, this sucks, you guys never know what the hell you're doing. You've insulted the government. That's a crime. Like, boom, you're like, you can't legally do that. It's like these little restrictions that the players have to kind of abide by. That's what social policy changes are. It's things that kind of force you, the player, to do things that you may not want to do, or kind of just shift the way you're speaking and the way you're doing things. So, If a policy, actually, what we should do is policies are rolled for at the actually no. Village should be. So actually, we want to put you on the second page. We want to put you. We have to do the government initiative table. Put that right here. Do that. Railway table properties. Black on black. Center it bottom. But we want to keep things at the left. So at the start of the new month, the government will actually the commissar will roll on the government initiative chart. If a new policy is selected, roll on the government policy table. If a policy is rescinded, if a policy is rescinded, remove one arbitrarily, often without telling anyone. You don't have to tell anyone that this happened. It's like, yeah, you fuck it, I don't care. Actually, what we can do is we can focus it a little bit more. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. We can do 3, 5. So on 1, 2, actually 1 to 2 to 3, 4 to 5. So if you roll low, you're going to get new policies. New policies are going to keep building on top of each other until you rescind. No. But so actually, what we're going to do is if the same policy is rolled twice, the government has reached a confusing state. Let's see. If the policy is rolled twice, double the effects. Double the effects of the situation, such as increasing the current value of the ban of banned goods from 100% more to 200% more. 100% to 200%. This goes up to. This does count as a single quote policy, which if rescinded is completely. Which if rescinded is completely removed. So yeah, you get commune taxes, which is like literally 100% of anything you have remaining at the beginning of the month is gone. Like, if you just get it, it's gone. You just give it. If you roll that badly and just keep getting commune taxes. Actually, should I increase this to 20% to be mean? Let's see. Do I have... Should I be mean to people about communism? There we go. Let's see what the consortium thinks. Okay, so at the start of every month, the hunters must dedicate 25% of their group vouchers back to their commune. If you roll that 4 times, you're going to have to dedicate 100% to all of your money. Everything you do not spend is gone. God, people are being stupid. Guess what? If people act stupid, everyone gets the 30-second posting change. There we go. Act stupid, get stupid. Oh god, my eyes burn from that. But all right. So, okay, that works. So finally, planned hunting, payment for the deed. The MEOA, the MEOA understands that the price of survival hinges on the success of the hunters, and as such, they pay out in vouchers for every they pay out in vouchers at the start of every mission. At the start of every mission for the hunters to purchase goods. This is the payment. This is the payment for the job. This is the payment for the mission, as well as any kills scored during the expedition and recorded and successfully recorded are also recorded and verified by a party official at the commune, at a local commune, or village. Is any kill scored during the expedition and successfully recorded and verified by a party official at a local commune or village is also rewarded as a bounty. The MEOA also doesn't have the resources to properly pay for everything. Therefore, prices rarely change for the bounties. Planned hunting, and then we want to do would be not heading 3, would be heading 2. Successfully pay out. Alright, so 26 pages. What are we missing? We are missing abso-fucking-lutely nothing, I think. Okay. I think that's it. Angering people about communism, it's great. But I think that is the end of Iron Hunter for the best way I can actually kind of do it. For better or for worse. It's a short game. This is a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be like perfectly honest. This game's only 26 pages. It's like really fucking short. Like I was not 5,000 words, 26 pages. Like I'm not happy with Iron Hunter. I'm not happy with this game. and I don't know what to do with it. That's the issue with it. It's the game is tight. It game works. I mean, it's just feels like there's parts of it that are missing, and I don't know what those parts are. It feels like it's not really committed to its own idea, and I don't know what else to add, really. It's like, do I add more equipment? But equipment doesn't really mean, like, equipment's not the purpose. It's like, it's so lethal, and it's so, like, we gotta go in there. I mean, I guess I, like, probably at the end of this, I'll add in, like, the asterisk cost, because I don't really know what else to fucking do there. This game is odd, and I don't know how best to describe it as more. There's something wrong with it, and I don't know what it is. And that thing that is wrong with it is that there isn't something there, but I don't know what it is. There's something core missing to it. There's some part that isn't gelling well, and I don't know what it is. And I think I have a feeling that it just is the core pitch didn't have a strong, like, it wasn't a strong anchor. I thought it was actually a strong anchor. And it was like, okay, Papers, Please by way of Castlevania. I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. And like, you got some ideas, you got some concepts, but it was like, oh, there's not actually that much to go off of. And because there's not much to go off of, you end up in an odd situation where there isn't really any good option to things, so things feel really anemic. Like, I think the commune dice system works, but like it needs something else. Like the idea behind it works, and I think I could use it for other things, but I don't know what to do here. And it feels like kind of like a tacked on mechanic, and like I would want to use that prisoner dilemma, but it might just be a game that requires that playtesting to make it feel good. But as a designer, I'm feeling that something is missing. Some core aspect of the game is just not present. And I don't know what it is. And that's the part that's bothering me. And I keep looking at it. I keep wondering where it is, what the answer is, what the secret to huge success is, and I don't know what it is. And God, is it annoying. I don't like I wish I knew what it was, what aspect I was looking for, what part of it had some answer that would jump out at me and say, this is it. This is the right answer. This is the correct thing you have to do. Like Edusius Lux had that. It was like, all right, like I'm ready. Like I know what I want to do. I know I have the focus. I have the idea. Even Don Maku Flowers. I'm like, all right, I know what I want to do. I have the idea. I know how to do it, and I'm gonna do something interesting with it. This one just doesn't feel like that. It doesn't have that correct thing to it. It doesn't have that right idea, that correct uh, basis for it. And I don't know what it is. I think that's the part that's like driving me most insane about this goddamn game. That there's something that isn't working. And that thing that isn't working is something I don't know about. It's not up here. I don't know where it is, and I can't think of it. And I don't know like where to look for it. Like I don't know like if it's there. I don't know. And that's really bothering me. It's like I feel like there's some core aspect of this game that's completely missing, and it's just not there. I don't know how to fix it. But as of right now, that's kind of all I can do for Iron Hunter. It's a game it's going to go on the back burner, and next year probably I'll be like, it's time to fix Iron Hunter. And I know how to fix it. I have the idea, but I don't have it right now. It's just not there. and it's just not jumping out at me. It's just not ready for me to make a good decision on. But I don't know. That's really annoying me. But where are we, roughly speaking? Like, I think we're doing pretty good. Like, if we use the idea that all of this is done, did we do everything with this? Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's like that's all we can really ask for. It's like we did everything we set out to do with that game. But where are we? So if you look at things Notepad wants to do. So let's see. If we scroll all the way down, we have successfully completed Iron Hunter. And I will update the website soon. That'll probably be tomorrow's goal, is getting that. Saturday's goal is going to get the website up to in updated state, because right now it's really kind of behind on things. And so it's kind of like, it's there, it's done. That's all I can really ask for. Once I get the website actually formalized up a little bit, can make things work a smidge better. So as of right now, our currently on the schedule is Tainted Bloodlines Due to the Abomination. Now, Tainted Bloodlines is an odd duck of a game for a few reasons. It is an older game, for one. Like, I last worked on this game. When was the last time when was this game, like, created? This was back in July of 2020. So yeah, this game's a little over. This game's about. It's about a year old, a year and a half old almost at this point. Fuck me, it's almost a year and a half old. But Tainted Bloodlines is odd because it was the kind of the earliest idea of the D2000 system, and that's what's really going to be that project is going to be doing. It's going to be converting the D2000 to Tainted Bloodlines and adding in everything that I kind of made here and in Omega Men in here to make it work. So it's kind of like all right, I'm pretty confident everything should be able to be maintained. Like, that is like a big thing that I want to keep in. This is like everything here will be able to kind of move over. I'm gonna lose some of the aspects. Things like Feral is gonna go away probably, but most everything else will stay. We have a lot more skills to work with, which is a good thing, and I like that. Our base genomes, like things like this, are going to get real bad real quick. So, born mutants, this is legally distinctive human beings, avoid any sort of human rights abuses. Genetic complexity, amount of mutation they have available to them. Initial set of mutations. Yeah, okay. Mutations, combining mutations into one. So yeah, I'll probably do that. The horrific pain clause. Let's see. Yeah, like a lot of this stuff is like going to remain the same. So this might be actually like a pretty quick game to actually like move over. However, it may not be. It may be some time, because the D2000 system, as of now, doesn't have some aspects to it. Like, combat training is completely different, and weapon proficiencies and such. It also has the natural survival rating, which I don't think this game does. Does this game have natural survival rating? Let's see. Yeah, no, this actually doesn't have natural NSRs. So, yeah, that's something we're going to have to fix. Okay. But the doy. But yeah, no, this one's gonna be an odd one. I'm having confidence in it though. That's all I can really ask for. God, why do I have armor durability in this game? No, no, bad, bad, no bad. What the hell? Colony is decided and dependent on the two splicers, fit large 50 splicers. Average size it isn't a massive city, but for purposes of characters and their adventures, constrain the available space to 50-50 grid. Venture to one edge of the map and to the other, which contributes to keeping the territory still between a few colonies in the area relevant and demanding. Yeah, alright, yeah. This is gonna be the odd one right here, is the fact like tainted bloodlines the next generation. You have genetic drifting, and that's going to be the complicated part with tainted bloodlines, is getting that system to work properly, and I'm not entirely sold I can do it, but it's going to be fun to do, which is all I can really ask for. And probably when that is done, like when we finish like tainted blood, like one tainted bloodlines is, once I kind of get a good idea for like how long it's going to take, I will probably start up another notocracy vote, and that notocracy vote will determine the next set of games. Pretty simple. But looking at things are looking pretty solid here. That is Iron Hunter. That's all I can really say. As my closing thoughts, let me see. I have to be official now, because I actually got someone decided to pay me money. So I would like to thank my one Patreon, my one single guy. Thank you, Mr. God, I feel so fucking bad for you, Mr. Bojack Jack Bojack. Thank you, Mr. Bojack. That's your new name. I'm sorry, but yeah, thank you for paying me $1. It's not much, but it's something. It means a lot to me. So I'm going to call that a day. Thank you very much. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you all on tomorrow, actually, because we're going to be going over Fleshmech Annihilator. So thank you very much, and good